Is Ukraine facing problems from Belarus? Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky flew to the U.S. and back in less than 24 hours. During his stay, he met with President Joe Biden and national security officials and also spoke to a joint session of Congress. A few days before Zelensky's trip to the U.S., Russian President Vladimir Putin traveled to Belarus in yet another attempt to bring his proxy into the war. On December 19, right before Zelensky's visit to the U.S., Putin and several of his most senior defense and foreign policy advisors, including Defense Minister Sergei Shoigu and Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov, traveled to Belarus to meet with Belarusian President Alexander Lukashenko and his advisors. The discussion between the two leaders included talk of a single defense space, which gives fuel to the assessment that Moscow might try to soft-annex Minsk. Ukrainian military intelligence has indicated that the Russian military is getting ready for another large-scale offensive operation in the coming weeks. Kyiv is singled out as one of the most likely targets of this offensive, and Belarus would provide the ideal staging ground for such an attack, as it did almost 1 year ago. Belarus is a Russian proxy. There is little doubt about that. The Russian military used Belarus as a staging ground to launch its attack from the north toward Kyiv. For weeks into the war, Belarus facilitated the transport and support of the Russian forces trying to capture. However, Minsk has managed to largely resist Putin's advances and keep itself out of the direct war. There seems to be very little appetite within the Belarusian population about joining the war. Lukashenko seems to understand that it has been trying to prevent dragging his country into a war that is highly likely to be lost.